So welcome so much, everybody. Here is Daniel once again, and I'm here with Ingrid Frazen.
Close. It's Ingrid Franzen, and I'm
Franzen.
so excited to be here, Daniel. I am recently joining ServiceNow as the head of technology and services, and I feel it's an incredible privilege to be here, not only as part of the larger organization, but to get to spend a little bit of time here in Orlando as well. I
Yeah.
actually am a remote employee, but my closest office is Santa Clara, so that's where I typically go in the most, and I do definitely drop in. It's
Yeah.
just not every day. So I live in the East Bay of California, near San Francisco.
Like any type of recent obstacles that you had to like overcome, and how did you do about it?
Yeah, let me actually go for like the longer horizon, like my career and like challenge in general.
Yeah.
It's funny, I was just talking with Melissa from my organization earlier today, and she was asking me a very similar question, and I said, one of the challenges I've just needed to navigate end to end in my career is being an outlier. And what I mean by that is I've spent my entire career in like engineering, product, and infrastructure, largely speaking, and of course, operations for all of those types of organizations. But I happen to be a business major. So being a business major in an engineering organization can be a real challenge in terms of needing to learn fast, learn on the fly,
Yeah.
continuously adapt. I made her laugh because I told her that when I started my career a long time ago, COBOL was sort of the technology that was out there.
Wow.
And I was telling her about that transition from COBOL to C to web applications to Python to the incredible agentic technology we're using today.
Yeah.
I think the challenge I've had, again, as a more, we'll call it like non-engineering backgrounded employee in many SaaS companies, is, I would say, learning quickly, being curious, adapting to what's new, and being competent and credible in those new things, almost like on a annual basis of change.
Yeah.
So being able to stay ahead of that change and reinvent and reimagine myself at every phase of my journey has probably been the larger challenge, as opposed to like any one small thing.
Yeah.
So that's what I would offer. And I'll also acknowledge, back to the outlier theme, being a woman in tech is also just a challenge in and of itself in terms of representation and opportunity. And so really pride myself in being an advocate and ally for others and trying to open doors, not just for women, but for underrepresented talent in general, whether that's folks with disabilities or our military and veteran community, very heavily involved with many organizations and nonprofits that are about creating access.
And what would be something that like somebody's trying to get into technology nowadays, and what would be some advice you would give them for somebody that's kind of new and wanting to get into either ServiceNow or any different type of technologies out there?
Yeah, I think two things come to mind for any STEM career. I think the first thing that I would encourage folks to like deeply think about is curiosity. I think curiosity is one of the greatest like catalysts for learning and getting involved, because when you're curious, you're more likely to say yes, you're more likely to experiment, take risks, do new things. And so being in a kind of tech journey requires that curiosity to learn and explore new things. And I think the other thing I would offer is courage to just try new things. It can be daunting, especially with this pace of change. I know we're all exploring what agentic means in each of our jobs today and what the future will look like. Having the courage to be on the front end of that transformation and be part of that journey versus maybe resist it or be anxious about it. I think the more we lean in, especially here and the play that we're trying to make in the marketplace, having that courage to lead that change is going to be transformational. So I would highly encourage those two.
They have given us opportunities to define our work, to define some of the goals that we are striving for that align with the company goals, of course.
Sure.
But they have given us a level of freedom that we are able to define what it is that we are doing as part of our work. In knowledge, we are working with all these articles, all this information, and a lot of times, it's coming from one point of view. But when we come in, we can see it from an overview of our experience, and we help improve those articles. And I fell in love with the platform. I love creating like apps and different actionable products that not only is in the digital world but in the physical, you know.
Mhm.
So those types of ideas, and oh, my producer's telling me that we are almost at time, but definitely this platform has given a lot of great opportunities for me and my family. I have 3 children, you
Nice.
know, and my little one is 2, and I got an 11-year-old and an 8. So they're like you say, curious. They love doing experiments, and you know, we use the platform to even create a project that we can track on the tournaments when we have these activities and different events that we do. So it's been a great blessing for me and my family. So I just want to thank you for your time and everything that you're doing with our organization. And we look forward for all the new projects and the new vision that you have for this company.
Well, wonderful. Thanks for having me. It's a privilege to be at Service Now, and I'd love to come back and actually share the new operating model, kind of decision framework, and roadmap for my organization if you have time for me sometime soon.
Yeah, definitely. We're here available anytime that you have.
Perfect. Thanks, Daniel. Thanks for having me.
All right, thank you so much. So, everybody, please join us for February 21st. We got our dev meetup coming up, and I hope to see you all there.
Awesome.